Hi, everybody. Welcome to a sneak peek of Juneteenth at Bullitt County Public Library. I'm Jennifer Nippert, and I'm the Assistant Director at the Bullitt County Public Library. And we're so pleased this evening to welcome our moderator for our Juneteenth event that will be happening June 19th at the library. Via Facebook and Live and Zoom. Chea K is our moderator, and she is going to tell us a little bit tonight about the origins of Juneteenth and what we planned for our own celebration and educational session this year. We're really excited to have her be part of our event, and we're super excited for her to help us learn how to do all these kinds of virtual things. So without any further ado, are we going to get Chea signed on to the Zoom meeting? I restarted the meeting. Yeah, restarted the meeting. No problem. So we're just going to get her signed on here. You may recognize her from many other media events in the Louisville metro area. She is a personality with a lot of experience interviewing. She's got a lot of experience with the Black culture in Louisville metro area. And we're just really pleased to be able to have a great conversation with her. And there she is. Yay. Hi, Chea. All right. We're gonna give her a little bit, give her some sound. Looks like I've got we've got Chea muted. So let's give her some sound, and we're gonna have a good old conversation here.
Hey,
Oh, we got it. Do we got it?
Yes. We did it. Perseverance, we did it.
It's all about learning. The library is all about learning. So thanks for helping us learn.
You know what? If there's not a challenge in your day, you have to ask yourself, did you really do anything?
Right, exactly. So we're going to record this, and so hopefully you don't mind that we share this later with all our interested parties and people.
No problem. I don't mind at all.
Awesome. So I've introduced you, but again, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to come out here and share with us your knowledge and your enthusiasm. We're just so happy to have you. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Chea.
All right. Well, thank you so much. First, let me say I am so excited to do the Juneteenth event with you guys. I think it's so important to create a safe space where there can be honest questions, conversation, and dialogue. It's my personal belief, especially after doing a constant media coverage over this last year, that we have to be willing to have conversations, to learn, to just talk. As my grandmother used to say, a great conversation can heal so many wounds. And I feel like this event is a great start. So I'm excited to be here. I'm honored to host and moderate. And I wanted to kind of get into what the event was and then talk about a little bit of Juneteenth, kind of answer the cursory questions. And we won't get too deep, but just enough to spark everyone to have a desire to come and hang out with us. And even if you're not coming to the branch, you can do it virtually. And then I'm going to issue a challenge because I want you to invite your friends, your family. We're in this together, so we got to put in the work. I want to talk about the event, and there's a commercial that is airing on radio. So I kind of wanted to read that just to kind of give anyone who's watching a sense of what the mission is, what we will be doing, So the Bullitt County Public Library presenting the Juneteenth at BCPL. It features a variety of Black voices from the community, including Dr. Oj Olayke. I've got to get it right because I don't want him mad at me. Representative Attica Scott, and I know Attica, so I always get her name right. And this young lady's phenomenal. Whitney Washington Powers of Garden Girls Foods. Now, here's the thing. I've had her food. She's actually about 200 feet from my office, so I kind of get to sneak down there and get some things. I've had the opportunity to see how she's grown her business, so I'm excited that she's a part. I'm excited that Attica's going to be here. I think we're going to have a great time, and we're going to get some questions answered, and we're going to remove some of those barriers that happen when folks don't want to have conversations about anything that may be race or culturally related. It's 2021, and it's time for us to move forward. It's time for us all to put in some work. So I think celebrating Juneteenth is a great way to do that. And I want to tell the audience what Juneteenth is, because I'll be honest, I was about 36 when I learned what Juneteenth actually was. So there's no shame if you are watching this and have no clue what Juneteenth is. Do not be ashamed. As my grandmother says, there's no dumb questions. There's no bad questions. Ask, and we will definitely get you an answer. So Juneteenth, I'll just give you some of the basic facts that we've pulled from various sources, just so you'll kind of know what we're getting into. So Juneteenth, it is a combination of June and 19th, Juneteenth. It's also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and also Emancipation Day. So you may hear any of those terms during a dialogue or debate, or some of the different historians that'll talk about it, but they are all referring to what has now become Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a holiday celebrating the emancipation of those who've been enslaved in these United States. Now, it originated in Galveston, Texas, and it is now celebrated annually on June 19th throughout the United States, with increasing recognition. You're seeing it more and more. You're seeing more groups celebrating, and not just the African-American community. We're seeing it celebrated in churches and community groups. What else have I seen? Parks. I've seen where people in office have decided to do Juneteenth celebration. So we're seeing it, it's growing. So a lot of times folks aren't sure what it is, but they want to be a part of it. So that's why I'm hoping you join us. Now, although Juneteenth generally celebrates the end of slavery in the United States, it was still legal and practiced in 2 Union border states. And those states were Delaware and Kentucky, which I think is important because we're in Kentucky. So it's part of our history. Until later that year, when the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution abolished chattel slavery nationwide in December. Now, it's celebrated in a plethora of ways. And I wanted to say that there is really no wrong way. If you decide you want to go to a party that celebrates Juneteenth, if you want to go to a church celebration that celebrates Juneteenth, if you want to get together with friends, family, and just have a discussion, there's nothing wrong. However you decide to celebrate or have a conversation and bridge those gaps, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I don't think we should chastise anyone who decides to celebrate a different way. We're going to remove some of these boundaries. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing at our event is we've got some speakers from the community that'll come in, share their stories. I think we're going to do some Q&As. I know Attica Scott, she's got a lot to say. I mean, she's been doing a lot of work. I saw her the other day, and I'll actually see her tomorrow. This is literally someone who is, as they say, is on the grind 24/7. So she's going to have a lot to say. And I guarantee you, by the time we get to June 19th, she's going to have some new things to discuss, some new announcements to make. So I'm excited that we're going to get that opportunity, that we will be able to, again, have that honest dialogue. I'm really big on that. This last year has taught me that until we're willing to do that, we're not going to make a lot of progress. So again, this is that opportunity. So what I want to do is challenge anyone who's watching to do me a personal favor. I would love for you to invite at least 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, families, coworkers to either attend in person at the branch or get the live stream link and join us via live stream, to submit questions, to check out books that have to do with Juneteenth, to call the branch and ask any questions you may have, but just take an active role in learning about Juneteenth. And then you go out into your community, into your groups, into whatever it is you do in your daily life, and spread that truth. I think if we put the truth out there, we can squash any falsehoods, because it happens. And Juneteenth, I know, it can be a little tricky or a little sensitive for some. It's a new conversation for a lot of folks. And again, there are no wrong questions. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I have no clue what this is. and then just allowing someone to teach you as much as possible. Because I mean, there's plenty to learn. And we will be doing that June 19th. And hopefully, maybe even between that, I don't know if we're going to have another one of these Zoom meetings. If we do, it's definitely my pleasure to be here. If there are any questions that I can answer, I'd love to. They have my personal email address. Feel free to write me a message. You can call the branch, tell them the question. They'll call me, they'll text me. I have no problem answering any way that I can help. So I know that you had an agenda, some things you wanted me to touch on. So what's the next step? What are we going to talk about?
Well, I think one of the things is just to mention all of our different participants. I know you touched on everyone, but just to kind of give them an idea that there's something for everyone. We're trying to have something for everyone in this conversation. So it's traditionally our summer, we call it Summer Quest at our library. So kids and families have a lot of opportunity to interact with the library. So they just want to touch on, hey, we're going to have some things for kids, we're going to have some things for grown-ups, that kind of thing.
Well, I tell you what, we'll start with some of our first presenters. So, and I'm excited because I've never met this gentleman. I've never had an opportunity to actually personally hear them speak. So I always love the first time I get to meet someone and hear their presentation and kind of get their backstory, because I'm big on the backstory. There's always a reason why everyone chooses their path. And anytime someone is doing community work or things that are designed to ease any type of maybe racial tension, to bring people together, I really like to champion that, because we're a global community. So we're all in this together. So I was very impressed reading this resume. So I'm going to just go down the list.
Okay.
And if I mispronounce his name, I will officially apologize with a cup of coffee when I see him June the 19th.
The way I remember it, Chea, is Olayke, Olayke.
Olayke. Oh,
Yes.
so we will have education and anti-racism expert, Dr. Oj Olayke, correct? All right. Now he's going to join us live via Zoom that day. And let me read his bio. So Dr. Olayke is president of the Association of Independent Kentucky Colleges and Universities, and was recently appointed to the United States Congressional Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys. Dr. Olayke is passionate about ending generational poverty and co-founded the Anti-Racism Kentucky Coalition, which is a group of Kentuckians working to end any remnant of institutional racism in Kentucky. So they've got a big challenge ahead, but they're putting in the work. So I think that is commendable. We're going to be able to hear his story and ask questions and kind of dialogue there on Juneteenth. So again, you guys need to be here in one way or another, whether it's in person or live. We won't judge. We just want you here. Also, our next presenter will be Representative Attica Scott. And I know Attica, and I can say she works hard. She's one of the hardest working women in the House of Representatives. So Representative Attica Scott, she's the Democratic representative for District 41 in the Kentucky House of Representatives, where she focuses on the education, elections, and constitutional amendments and intergovernmental affairs. Now, she also sits on the board for Judiciary and National Energy and Resources Committee, and that was in 2017. And she was also named that same year to the Essence magazine's list of, remember when this happened, I gotta get the title right, most woke, 100 most woke women in the United States, because of her rise and run of being a trailblazer. Now, Attica is working to pass the Crown Act currently. And so I was just in Frankfurt about 4 weeks ago. She's very hands-on with a lot of the children who are working on that Crown Act. There's a lot of young folks who have taken that up as their champion. So she's very hands-on. So you will literally see her in sneakers and a skirt running through the halls there, and then you'll see her in Louisville, and then you'll see her in counties, and then you'll see her on a Facebook Live. And all this happens in like a 16-hour time. So I kind of think she has a clone. We're going to find out on June the 19th, and I'm going to officially ask her, is there another Attica running around? But she's amazing. She puts in the work, and her heart is just one that's in the right place. She wants to see change. So again, I'm excited that we're going to have her here on June 19th. And this next lady, I've had her food and it's amazing. And again, her business is about 300 feet from my office. So it's really nice to see how this business has grown, but also know that I have a place that I can get really fresh homegrown food. So the beautiful lady that will be joining us is none other than Miss Whitney of Garden Girl Foods. Now, Garden Girl Foods has a focus on fresh and non-preservative based foods. They're all non-GMO and they're locally grown and sourced. Now, it's a Black-owned business, a female Black-owned business that started as an idea and has grown into this full-fledged business. I was at an event the other night and she was the caterer. And I have to say, it was the first time I'd had a meal complete with dessert that I felt guilt-free because I've been on this diet for like the last year. So I felt guilt-free because I knew she'd grown it herself. It was all healthy. It was beautifully presented. And it's great to see that she saw a need in the community and it has now flourished into the business that it is. I mean, so she's getting national recognition for this initiative that she's created. So shout out to Garden Girl Foods, and we get to meet her on Juneteenth. I believe we're gonna have some samples that day.
Yes, we're gonna have cornbread. Cornbread.
That means people need to be here in the building, correct?
Yes.
Oh, well, one more. If nothing else, if nothing I say, even a promise of a cup of coffee, if that doesn't move you, they're gonna have homemade cornbread that they're gonna make here. So come out. Now we're gonna have butter. Do people need to bring their own butter?
We might be able to be convinced to provide some butter.
Okay. Well, just in case, stop at the local store on your way here. Grab your own stick of butter because there's nothing like fresh hot cornbread with butter. But I'm glad you all get to sample some of what she does, and of course connect with her and hear her story and her backstory. One of the things that I'm excited about, as far as that, I know there's going to be some children here. There's some giveaways that'll be taking place. So there's going to be a lot of activity that day. It's not just going to be a situation where somebody's sitting just talking. This is going to be very hands-on. There's going to be Q&A. You're going to have opportunity to ask questions, voice concerns, anything that you need to know about Juneteenth and what we're doing that day. So it's really a celebration, but it's also an educational celebration with a twist of fun. I'll make sure we have some fun. I'll bring the stick of butter if I have to. So if I walk in that day with a 4-pound pack of butter, you're going to know why, because I'm coming for my cornbread. And I hope when Miss Whitney watches this, I'm coming for my cornbread. We're going to have a great time today. And we have, and I got to make sure I read this right, because I'm really excited about this. There's going to be a pre-recorded video premiere. And I love anything theater-based, performances, creative. I just love anything like that. So this is going to be jazz with Keana Binhoff. So I think that is going to be not only a phenomenal addition, but a great introduction if you've never had a chance to see her play. So Keana Binhoff is known to the stage as Keana Dell. She's a very passionate vocalist, songwriter, and educator from Carrollton, Kentucky. See, she's one of Kentucky's own. She is the founder and the lead vocalist of the jazz ensemble Keana and the Sun Kings. And she's a contributor to various radio and outreach programs. I know her from radio. And she's also on 90.5 WJOL. I always get their call letters mixed up. It's a Generation 3 Headley Creative Recipient Award that she received. And she's also received the Fund for the Arts Next Gen Board Member Award. So we're excited that you'll be here. She's bringing jazz. And I think jazz, because of its historical purpose in the African-American community, is a great addition. Plus, you just get to see her perform. And there's nothing like seeing a performance, especially for the first time if you've never seen her. So again, here's what I need you to do. I need you to invite 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, families. You can even join that way. And also the recorded portion, can't they see that at a later date?
Yes.
Okay. We want to make sure we add that. So if you have to miss something, because I understand we started at 12, we're going to 5. You may have to take a break where you're able to come back, and anything you've missed, you can watch. Again, I want to see everyone there. I want to challenge you that day. If you are watching the live stream, share it on your social media, interact, jump in the comment section and ask questions. If you have concerns or if there's things you don't understand, let us know and we will definitely address it. Even if we can't do it right there on camera, we'll get the answer and we'll get back to you. Also, if you're in the area, you're going to be here in town this week, there are a ton of amazing books behind me. That's why I keep looking. I mean, a ton. I see like Lovecraft Country, which I just finished watching on HBO Max. I see The Making of Malcolm X. A Lullaby, Quiet War. I mean, there's a ton of books. How about you stop into the branch and check out a book? Challenge you to get outside your comfort zone. I challenge you to read something different. If you've never checked out a book by an African-American author, why not do it today? It's a great way for you to celebrate. And matter of fact, let's see, today is what's today's date? The 3rd. So we have 16 days. That's 16 days to read 16 different books. You can bring the kids in, grab to a book, sit around, get comfortable. Just do something different if you've never read a book by an African-American author. Let's start today. And also, I know we have to touch on, so I'm very excited about this. This is the Cultural Pass, which this is year 5, I believe, for the Cultural Pass. The one thing that I'm proud of about this is it started with 4 or 5 things, and now it is literally a full summer's pass. One of the locations on here that's very near and dear to my heart, if you know me, you know I really push and support them a lot. I've had a lot of events there. I've done shows there. I've interviewed them. It's Roots 101 Museum. I started with them literally at the journey when it was the concept. The visionary behind it is a gentleman named Lamont Collins. And for him, he wanted to make sure he left a legacy for his grandchildren. He wanted to make sure that they could see, touch, and feel history. And I have to say, he has one of the most amazing curated collections of memorabilia that I've yet to see. He has some things I have not seen. He's got some new pieces in recently. The last time I was there, which was about 3 weeks ago, covering an event, he had some actual slave shackles. And to touch them, to feel them, is an experience I can't put into words. And since I can't put it into words, that means you're gonna have to go to Roots 101. With the Cultural Pass, I think it's great because you're able to take your kids, you're able to get a tour. And let me just say, he's phenomenal about making sure you get a tour, not just, run you through the building. He literally explains the significance of whatever the piece is. He answers questions. He's all about education. And he is one of those folks that if you ask him a question and he's got to go research the answer, you will get a call from him with the answer. He's going to make sure that he removes any doubts or any questions. So the Cultural Pass is definitely a must. And of course, there are plenty of other great things to do throughout the summer with the kids. Matter of fact, I got to get mine. I still have a 10-year-old, so he loves his Cultural Pass. But I have to make sure you put it on your calendar, Roots 101. And I want to challenge you. Don't just go by yourself or just with your kids. Get some friends together. Make it a family event, make it a friend event. Go, take the tour, check out the museum, go to lunch. The new location, which is located at 125 North 1st Street, is beautiful and it's by the waterfront. So it'd be a great thing. You can actually create, if you're going to go in person, and they also have a virtual option. So if you're going to go in person, you can spend the day at the waterfront, you can spend some time with Roots 101, and the kids will have a good time. You will have had some much needed education, bridging those cultural gaps, and also supported a great vision. Roots 101 is definitely one that's very dear to my heart. And also just get your Cultural Pass because the kids love it. I promise. My 10-year-old adores his. With that being said, what else do we need to address? Because we want to make sure we get you as much information as possible without keeping you too long.
Right. I think one other thing that kind of goes along with experiencing a performance is we're going to have our own offering during Juneteenth, which is Idris Goodwin's A Tribe Called Tubman. And we're going to be giving folks the opportunity to either watch that performance from the comfort of their own homes, or we're planning on having that available to watch at the branch locations too. So yeah, it's an awesome experience. Idris has worked with Actors Theater in Louisville, so he has that background, but he's very passionate about giving young people some opportunity to experience theater. So while we don't have it live, we have a great opportunity to get to know his work too. So we'll be giving folks the opportunity to do that during our event as well. So
That's
yeah.
a lot. There's a lot packed into those few hours we're going to be together, which means you won't be bored, you won't regret it. And again, I challenge to you, invite 5 friends, family, whether it's virtually or in person. I mean, I'd love to meet you guys in person. I will be here. And yes, it's definitely social distancing. You can wear your mask. If you've been vaccinated, you're free to come as you need to, but I will definitely be here. I'm excited to have the opportunity. I know the folks that will be speaking that day are coming from the bottom of their heart just to share their stories. I know some of these folks, I've read their stories. It is really about bridging those gaps for them. And it is for me. I really believe that until we're willing to have conversations, honest conversations with each other, and just be open to ideas, we don't get too far. And after seeing this last year, and I covered the uprisings here, I was in Minneapolis, I've covered a lot. It is much needed that we come together and work towards improving our communities, our society, our country. We live in this country together. So we don't need division. And if anything, we need to come together. So this is an opportunity for us to do that. And I'm excited to be a part of it. And I'm honored that you guys asked me to come.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And I'm gonna have cornbread on June 19th. Don't forget the butter. I might bring it, you bring it. I don't know.
Okay.
We're gonna have a good time.
Awesome. Well, I think the only other thing that we would need to say is be looking out for that day too. Speaking of cornbread and some fun interaction, we're actually going to be offering the opportunity to register to win a $50 gift card to Garden Rural Foods. So we're going to have 5 chances to win, and for that price tag, you can sign up your kid for an awesome cooking class with Whitney. And so that's going to be another fun thing that we'll have going on that afternoon.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, that's a lot going on. And so let me just say, whoever wins the cooking class, if you would like for me to come and taste your cooking, it's not far from my office. I literally can walk down. I'm open to it. I don't mind.
Nice. Well, I think that's what I would like. I can't think of anything else. Of course, come visit us too, because we're excited, to see you, and we're excited for this to be one of many. So we'll be asking for your feedback too. Everyone out there, let us know how we're doing, and make it even better in the years to come. So, but getting started is the exciting part.
Absolutely.
Right now. Yes.
And let me just say, one of the things I always challenge everyone when I end a broadcast is, don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. So come out June 19th. Let's have some fun together. Let's talk, let's fellowship, let's bridge those gaps, and let's move towards a solution that improves our entire community, because we deserve it. I feel like we do.
I agree. Well, Chea, thank you so much for making the trip down here. She braved the thunderstorms and the lightning and all the crazy traffic and all that kind of stuff, and she got herself here. And we're gonna do it again on Saturday, June the 19th, starting at noon and ending around 5 o'clock. So we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely, I know I am. I'm excited.
Yes. Awesome. Well, we'll see you.
All right,
If
guys.
not, yeah, later on. Bye.
Can't wait. Bye. It's a pleasure meeting you all.